Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca and today we're doing some plant chores. I didn't think that I had that much to do, and then as I was standing in here, I started making this long list. So we actually have quite a few things that we need to do. I don't know how long this video is going to be for me because I'm filming this while my daughter is taking a nap. It's Sunday currently. So let's see how many plant chores we can get done in the course of a toddler nap. I think the first thing on the agenda is to reconfigure these shelves. Not in a huge way, but I just want to kind of move things around and take down the winter decor because that is still up. I need to put this out with my Christmas stuff. I don't exactly have like spring decor to put in here, but I just want to refresh, maybe get some more plants up here, and just kind of see where we're at. You guys, this pothos is so happy. I'm so pleased. I have not had a really happy pothos, if ever, to be completely honest with you. It's so happy. What's my trick? What am I doing different? I'm watering it. Cool. I don't know if it will really be noticeably different for you, but I just moved some plants around. I'm going to turn our attention over to the pulley system because I do have some very exciting updates, including all of these plants have a ton of new growth happening. Like all of these new leaves on the spider plant. We have new leaves coming in on the Maranta. The water got a little gross. I need to dump that out and put in new water, but basically what happened is I watered it top down also, in addition to watering it, like filling up the basin, and I just didn't think that that would happen. That's the only one that it happened with, so I don't know what's going on. Lots of new growth over here. All of this like light green is new. Of course, there's also some not so pretty leaves, but such is life. This pothos is putting out new growth. It's definitely looking better. It's getting the moisture it needs, so I'm hoping that in a couple more months it'll be trailing and super pretty. Look at this leaf. Oh my goodness. And then my jungle cactus has new growth. This is new. And then it looks like there's, oh yeah, some right here. This is new. Anyway, it's just kind of sprinkled around, but there's definitely new growth here. I've let this one get pretty dry after it soaked up all of the water, so it'll be ready for a refill at this point. But I'm going to do some propagation over here. My Monstera albo, I want to cut it probably like right here because it has this big like gap because there was a leaf right here. If the leaf did not end up falling off, I would not be cutting it right now. But a leaf was right here and then it got absolutely tattered in the wind when I had this outside in the fall and it broke and I was really, really upset. But it's put out 2 leaves since then. Like clearly the plant is fine. This leaf looks a little bit wrinkly and like not as great, but this is definitely one that I'll be putting outside on the patio when the time comes, and I think that it'll be much happier. I used to be really scared to chop my plants and now I really am not bothered by it anymore, especially this plant. I was like terrified. But yeah, now we have another cutting that I will probably just pot back into here eventually because I just want this plant to be really full. I do have the option of making a wet stick, which I might do because we have another node right here. Okay, I did not cut the long stem yet. For some reason, I'm just a little nervous about that aerial root still being kind of juvenile. I'm sure it's fine, but I'm just gonna give it a little bit more time to harden off. I put it in the greenhouse cabinet. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? We have a new leaf trying to escape these back holes. What are you doing? Okay, well, we just ripped off the bottom half of that. Okay, the Bassier luxurians put out a new leaf. And it's putting out another one. We got a lot of new stuff going on in here. I won't update too heavily, but I do want to take this out of here because it's just getting to be too big. Lots of crowding going on, which this feels like a super new leaf. I don't know how new, but it feels pretty new. And I can see a new spike coming up with probably another new leaf. This cabinet probably needs a good look because I see some, yeah, this is long gone. That's been dead for a hot minute. Being in the cabinet reminded me that I have a new plant that I want to show you guys. But first, we're going to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform for you to share about your business, what you're doing online, whether you have a small business or you're scaling your business. It's a really great place to sell things, share things, and get paid all in one place. Obviously, if you're selling services or products online, you want to show up in those first couple of search results, and using Squarespace's integrated SEO tools, that is much more possible with optimized meta descriptions and site mapping and all of those little things that SEO really likes. Another part of doing business that can be really intimidating is invoicing and contracts and all of these little things. Squarespace makes it really easy by streamlining your workflow with contracts, pipelines, and invoices. So if you have all of these things in like different places, you can put them all in one, which like coming from corporate now, it is so easy to just add on all of the different apps with all of the ridiculous names. And it's nice to have one thing that can do everything. If you're interested at all in Squarespace, I would highly recommend you checking it out. You can head to squarespace.com to start your free trial, and when you're ready to purchase your first website or domain, you can use my code BeccaDeLaPlants10 for 10% off. All right, everybody, made my first wishlist plant acquisition of the year. This is an Anthurium Wenlingeri, and I put this on my wish list really not thinking that I would get this for a while. And then I was shopping at a place in Norman, Oklahoma called The Greenhouse, which I have footage going to a bunch of different places in Oklahoma City, but I've been wanting to like compile it into one video. So it's like Oklahoma City plant shopping. I'm normally able to go to all of these places in one go, but Oklahoma City is huge and there's so much going on in life, and plant shops are here and here and here. So I'm kind of doing a compilation video and I just need to edit it and put it together. But you get a spoiler because I did pick up this plant. This leaf is new. It came out since I've had it. The soil's not incredible, so I would like to repot it, but it's just been sitting in my greenhouse cabinet and it actually looks like it's trying to push another new leaf, which is super exciting. This costs $40. No, sorry, not 40. Less, $31 for an Anthurium Wenlingeri. Now it is quite young. I did see a couple, there was like probably 10 or 15 there, and I got the one that looked the biggest, despite the pot size, because I did have some that were in like bigger pots, but the plant was like the same size as this one. So I just went with the one that had like the most leaves, the most kind of going on. And yeah, we wound up with this one. So I'm super excited. I am going to be repotting this today. And I wanted to show you, since we're sitting here, this is my Philodendron Splendid, and it put out this new leaf, which is really beautiful. And I am excited to pot it in soil. It's definitely ready. It's put out a new leaf. Like, I'm sure it's rooted quite nicely. So we're going to repot this. I don't think I'm going to put it on any sort of support quite yet, although I might have one on the floor in here somewhere, but it's mainly just because I don't think I have one right now. But I'm going to put it in a pot that will support it having a pole. And last, like, little sit down update. This is my so gorgeous, I just lost the name. Sorry, I'm feeling really foggy. I have a lot of brain fog today. Aglaonema pictum tricolor. That's what it's called. Yeah, this is her. She is looking so good. Both of these leaves are new, and it's putting out this one. It just looks so good. So thank you to everyone who told me that it was actually not hard, because I really was psyching myself out not getting this for years, thinking that it would be so difficult. But it sits in a self-watering pot. It drinks really fast, so I definitely have to check it. But honestly, I'm not checking it very often. This pot is glazed, so on the inside it's glazed. So it looks like a, you know, raw terracotta, but it's not actually. So it holds moisture for quite a while actually. So anyway, it's not even very close to the window, and all of these leaves are like really close together, which is awesome. So I'm gonna just keep it over there where it is. I'm not moving it. I will never move this plant now that it's happy. But yeah, cute little update. She's so pretty. Ooh, now that I cut the Monstera, I don't have to worry about it getting hit by the pulley. I'm just going to go through and pluck off any dead leaves and clean out the basin if it needs to be cleaned. Just do a little bit of pulley system maintenance. I also have quite possibly the most exciting update of all. I almost forgot to make a big deal of this. Look at this Spanish moss that I found at a market. So yeah, this is incredible. It's very, very long, very, very thick Spanish moss. Yeah. I bought this fake Spanish moss to, you know, do what I had a vision for this to be like covered in Spanish moss, and it doesn't quite hit, you know, but I feel like the addition of this one, oh, it hits. But I do think I'm gonna put it on the back so that it's not like in front of everything. But like, I love the drapey, like, oh my gosh. This is what I was envisioning, genuinely. And I just could not justify spending as much as it would have cost to get this much Spanish moss. But guess what? This was $60, 60. A tiny bunch like this, like maybe slightly thicker than this, at my local stores is oftentimes like 20 bucks. So you can imagine how much this would cost if I was to buy all these individual pieces to make this. It's incredible. So anyway, I almost forgot to show it. I need to water it before I put it up. And every time I take down the pulley, I'm probably just gonna like grab it, take it to my shower it down. Hopefully this isn't too much maintenance, because we know if something has like too many steps, it's too much maintenance. It's not great for me. But I do think also when it's warmer, I can just take it outside to my patio and like spray it down with the hose and let it soak for a while. If you have any tips on taking care of Spanish moss, please let me know. I'm going to do my own research, of course. I really want this to live a long, happy life, and please do not come for me if it dies, okay? I'm not great with air plants, but this was a really cool opportunity and I really wanted to live a long, happy life, but I've never had real Spanish moss before, so there might be a learning curve. I don't know, please be nice to me. I'm gonna go water it real quick though. I think we're getting close. I want it to be spread out significantly more, like kind of how it's more spread out towards the end here, which you can't see, but towards the ends I have it much more like spread out. It does kind of just look like a worm in the middle there. I'm gonna leave it for now because I'm still kind of figuring out exactly what I want to do with it, so I don't want to like get too involved. I am gonna have to take it down to water it like at least once a week. So, or maybe not once a week, I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see what the research says, what you guys say. I like this like spread out part. I think that looks really good, and I think that I definitely could achieve that across the whole thing. I just need to like undo the bunch because I think it's like tied together with wire. So I think I just need to do that. And maybe it's something that I can just mist, but I don't feel like that's gonna be as effective as full-on watering. Stay tuned for my Spanish moss journey. We're gonna end the video by repotting 2 plants, and then we'll say goodbye. I think I'm going to put the Wenlingerie in this. This has been a good pot for my Anthurium in the past, although the soil is old, so we're gonna swap out the soil. I guess we'll repot that first. I also have this, but I just feel like Anthurium, they just root really fast, so I don't think that this is gonna be a great long-term solution. I guess it depends on the root system, but like this pot is genuinely not that much bigger, and that sounds a little wild, but you can see it's really not that much bigger, so I think I'm just gonna do this. Oh yeah, I think the bigger pot will be fine. I always repot my Anthurium and Dela tanks, and generally it's been a really great soil for it. I'm really happy about that because I don't know if we intended it to be a general houseplant mix, like 95% of houseplants would be happy in it. And I really wasn't into Anthurium at the point when we were testing it. And Anthurium really just weren't as common for just like average people to have at that point too. So I'm really happy that it works super well for my Anthurium. My Anthurium started being a lot happier once I put them in like a ceramic pot like this, not a completely like airy terracotta. So anyway, I have high hopes for her. We've got some good moist soil she's gonna live in now, nice and nutrient dense. I was kind of thinking this pot for Miss. I think this one's a boy. This feels like a boy to me. Honestly, it's given me a lot of issues over its lifetime. It's currently rooted in sphagnum moss as well, inside of this like glazed terracotta cup thing. I got that in a kit to grow basil, and it is a really great propagation cup. I don't typically do a ton of work to remove roots. Ooh, that's a nice long root right there. It's not like super rooted, a little bit less rooted than I thought, but that's fine. It's still ready to be repotted, and this pot size is actually going to be perfect. Put it in nice and deep so that it has lots of stability to begin with. There's also some more aerial roots up here that are going to get buried, so hopefully those will root too, just with the soil contact, and then it'll be anchored even more and have more places to draw moisture from. But I'm really happy with that. I think this is super cute. Also, I think that I could potentially put this on this wall here, which I might do. This pot also has a matching saucer, and I don't know where it is. I'm gonna look in my cabinet real quick to see if I've used it for something else, because I did obviously because they got separated, but I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick, because it's one of those that just kind of like fits in perfectly. I found it. Okay, there she is. Now it's a she. It was a he, now it's a she. I don't know. I've got it next to the window here. Hopefully that will be good enough. We'll see, I'll keep an eye on it, but I think when I start moving plants outside or I get grow lights, I'll feel a lot better about it. I'm just a little nervous there's not gonna be enough light, but we'll see. And then the Wendlandry is gonna live here, and I moved the Monstera up there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on this plant chores day. It felt good to get my hands in dirt and hang out with my plants again. Stay tuned for the moss journey. We're gonna see how much we can separate this so that it doesn't just look like a tube of moss. It's gonna take some time, but I think moving it, like spreading it apart while it's wet, is going to be the move, because it did feel like more slippery. You can see it's already dry again, and it has that like beautiful chalky texture. You can see the fake next to the real, like the color difference is just so obvious to me. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna leave the fake ones up there because it just bolsters it. It's all just up there. You can't really, I don't know, I guess you can tell the difference, but like not in a huge way, so it's fine. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring. If you wanna check them out, I will have it linked down below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.